Is your attitude, assessment of the war situation in Iraq changing at all?
We're all looking forward to General Petraeus's report. I was down at the White House at the end of July, and the President referred to it as probably the most anticipated military report that we've ever had as a country. Everyone's looking to this report. There's been some positive movement in Iraq. I think the preliminary report is that the surge is having a positive impact, especially militarily. Politically, we still have more work to do. I think the idea of these benchmarks are positive. I don't support an arbitrary, drop-dead date, and I don't believe it's realistic. Just logistically, it's not going to be possible to withdraw our troops. One general said, in less than 10 months. It's just going to take us some time, even after we agree to a certain course of action. But I think that the benchmarks have really helped get us all on the same page. It's like instead of debating different reports that are coming from Iraq, we've agreed, Republicans and Democrats, that these are the benchmarks that we want to see, and then we can assess, are we meeting these benchmarks? And I think that's a more constructive way to approach our efforts in Iraq.
From what I've seen and from what I've watched, it's hard for me to imagine, no matter what General Petraeus says, no matter what happens in Iraq, it's hard for me to imagine that President Bush will ever say, this is a mistake, it's not working, we need to begin focusing our attention on an exit strategy. Not maybe a hard and fast deadline, but an exit strategy. Do you disagree with me on that?
I'm hopeful that we will at least hear from the President some kind of an exit strategy, that there will be a desire to end our time in Iraq, and that there will be a reduction in the troops that we are sending to Iraq. I think the President, even back in, was it January or February, he talked about the mistakes that had been made and recognized that it had, that they had tried two different approaches to Iraq. It's not gone as they had planned, and that he really felt that, a temporary surge in troops was what was needed at this time to stabilize, especially Baghdad. And we're seeing where, right now, Baghdad, one of the benchmarks was to reduce the sectarian violence, and that one in July was labeled as a success. And there's, so I think the President, he recognizes he's not the one to be talking about Iraq. That's why he's said, I'm waiting for General Petraeus. He recognizes that his credibility has really been compromised. So there's at least some recognition there.